My grandpapa told me not to plant. Now I'm poor. Are you recording? Don't take a picture.
I still have it.
My face is red. 1, 2, 3.
I did. That's what I said. Boot me off.
Okay.
Okay. One.
It's gonna end up being one of these laughing ones. Sad, dark, scary thoughts. 1, 2. Not yet. Keep trying.
You're recording. You are. You rascal. Sit your honey down. Can you hear me now?
Don't have anything in my teeth. Welcome to another episode of A Day in the Life. Our hair and makeup team failed us. They did not show up today, although Jenny's did.
Yep. No.
Happy Saturday.
Happy Saturday.
It was a good day.
It was a good day. But hello, friends. Welcome to Gardening with Creekside. So I am Jenny.
And I'm Christine!
So you've heard about Christine for so long now, and if you haven't, I don't know where you've been. You've been under a rock somewhere. So this is my beloved Christine, whose official title here at Creekside Nursery is Creative Genius, because she oozes creativity. She brings out fun Jenny, not stressful, anxious Jenny.
I like fun Jenny. I like stressful Jenny too. I like them both. It was not an underhanded compliment.
So hopefully this will make sense video wise, but just to set the stage, so this is Saturday afternoon. We have had a great day at the nursery being open. It's been a great day. It's a beautiful day. It is about 5:30, so afternoon coffee, and yeah, so we've been talking about doing this. It's not a front porch chat because Christine wanted to keep that with
that's
Jerry and I.
y'all's thing.
That's our thing. So we thought about a fireside chat.
I ain't no third wheel. Is what it is.
No. So we're just out here at the Pines because it's really just too wet that we don't have any dry wood. So we're hanging out here. The patio's not ready.
Yeah.
One day.
This is now my spot.
It is.
The Pines.
So this is what the video that I wanted to introduce everybody officially to Christine, because she has been behind the camera a lot, in front of the camera some, off and on. Not a big full video like this, really.
Right.
So I just wanted to introduce her to you so that you can fully understand and appreciate who Christine is. So to give you a little backstory, Christine and I met 4 years?
I do think it was 4 years ago.
Because this is your third summer or third season with us. So it was 4 years ago that we came to know each other.
Yeah.
And we've had so much fun ever since.
Yeah.
Way too many laughs. Not too many. You can never have too many laughs. Can you? No.
There's not a threshold. If there is, I think we would have found it. That's how much there's been.
Yeah. So do you want to tell them what you want them to know about you?
So, I'm a former rodeo clown.
Okay, so imagine that Creekside had some technical difficulties. And
So, like, I'm a professional videographer, and I never have moments where the card runs out of storage, and you don't realize it till an hour later.
Yeah, so we knew Christine heard the video, like the camera click. And she was like, oh no, it turned off. And then she was like, oh no, the card's full. Well,
it filled up way before we knew. And so the last thing you heard was that I was a former rodeo clown. Jenny doesn't think it's real.
Cracks me up. I mean, I've heard it before, but
Jenny doesn't think it's real. It's because it's not. That was a joke.
no, but I could totally see it being real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
It's my dream job.
So, you're gonna go from the pines to the front porch to the pines again because
cameras
and whatever. So right after Christine told us that she was a rodeo clown, she told us about herself.
Yeah.
Because
I missed that.
You did. I don't know. Like, where'd you go? We were here.
I thought it was interesting, but the whole audience just up and left the stadium. So.
Because I could tell you about Christine, but then again, I don't want to tell them something you don't want them to know.
There's some secrets.
So, I mean, you can you tell them.
Okay. So, I am a mama. I have 4 children. My oldest is 10, and I have younger children. It's a story. So, I have 2 biological children and 2 children that came by way of adoption. And that process, although we were fully prepared for it, in another truer sense, I was not prepared at all, to quote Michael Scott. The Office. They're all the same age. I have triplets, but they're not biological triplets. And I have 3 6-year-olds, but they used to be 3 2-year-olds.
But you said they're 10 months apart?
Yes, there's
Total.
10 months apart. So when my Liza, who we adopted from Bulgaria, when her birthday comes, and she turns 7, it will break the curse of the triplets, is what I call it. And then for a few short months, she's the oldest, and then I have twins, and it goes like that.
But not true twins.
No, not true twins. So. I love children. I love my children. I'm so grateful for them. And I know you're going to ask, why did we choose adoption when we could have biological children? It's because I was adopted. I was in foster care till I was 9, and then I was adopted by the most wonderful family. I love my mom and dad. Hi, Mom. And I love my sister that I gained in adoption. And my brother and I stayed together the whole time that we were in foster care. So it is a beautiful story of triumph over a dark thing. So I know, because I was older during the whole foster care and adoption process, I was, acutely aware of what that was gonna, what could have been. And so because adoption touched my life at an early age.
So I'm just gonna interrupt. So
Jerry's coming.
Jerry's coming, and I don't remember what we've said and what we've not said.
Oh, I know.
So we asked him if he wanted to be a part of this video, and he was like,
what would we talk about?
what would we talk about?
Dirt. Tractors.
Soul.
Yes, not dirt. Soul.
Okay, so we digress. Go ahead.
Yep.
This happens a lot.
It's my favorite thing to do, to chase squirrels. So, yeah.
Okay, okay. But also, not only do you have 4 kids, 2 international adoptions,
but
you lived.
Yeah, we were an international family for almost 11 years. My 2 biological daughters were born in Thailand, so they actually have Thai names, and they get to visit Thailand without a visa, which is really neat, a perk of being born in Bangkok, Thailand. So my husband and I taught English as a second language for a long time, living in China. And I had no idea when we first moved there, kind of on a whim, that I was absolutely going to fall in love with all things international, but especially Chinese people, Chinese culture, Chinese food. Everybody told me I was going to get so skinny because of the food there. Well, obviously that did not happen. They know how to cook vegetables. Anyway, I digress. In that time that we were overseas, we were able to visit a lot of countries. I've been to 15 countries. So I love culture, and I really love people. I do.
You do, and that's what makes it so great. Oh, shoot.
Is that a truck there?
That's Josh.
Oh, hi, Josh.
But the gate's closed. I don't have my phone, Josh.
Call Jerry. Let me text him.
Okay, so excuse us. Just ignore.
You talk.
Okay, so Josh is Jerry's Christine. Does that make sense? Like Christine is my, and Josh is Jerry's. So Josh was helping Jerry with the greenhouse and the sides, but we closed the gate, and so he's stuck. So we can control it remotely with our phone, where we can open and close it. And I don't have my phone with me.
I'm including emojis in this just for you, Jerry.
So Christine taught me the joy of using, and I still get it wrong, GIFs, GIF. What do you call it?
I'm confused.
Help us.
GIFs
Is
or
it
GIFs?
Yeah, GIFs, GIFs, GIF.
Feels like a gift, so I feel like it should be GIF. But I hear people saying GIF, and I'm like, that's peanut butter.
Okay, so we're getting back on focus here.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so sweet babies,
Yes.
sweet husband Scott.
Yes, I love my husband. I'm taken, fellas.
She is. You can't have any of that. Mm-mm. She's an amazing artist. Like
I do love art.
you ooze creativity and art. I mean, anything. Like she just, yeah. So the way that we came to know each other,
Yeah.
because this is an important one. Did I start this on the next video?
I think you did.
I think we did. Okay.
You hear this later, and you're going to have to wait.
That's right. So was there anything else in there that we didn't talk that we talked about? It was probably like 20 minutes worth of video that you didn't get to see. So we're trying now to remember what we were talking about, because it was good stuff.
So I think it was like I'm an outdoors kind of a person. I was a horseback rider. One of my earliest jobs was foreman of a 50-horse horseback riding area. Horses were, part of my life. Even though I was in foster care, that's something that a lot of my foster parents kept up with me. And I think that, during foster care and even after adoption, in every transition, outdoors, art, and animals are some of the best things that you can introduce into your life. Maybe you're going through something, I don't know, with a relationship, a job. I cannot recommend enough what a therapy gardening and outdoors. So I think that's why I'm like drawn to those things, because of their healing nature. So yeah, I love sports. I don't play them anymore. Is gardening a sport?
Mm-hmm.
It's an endurance sport.
It's a full body workout.
It is. Yeah, stay tuned for our workout video. What was it? One day we were doing something and I was like, this is worse than squats. We should make a workout
that's
video.
when we were filling up the greenhouse, wasn't it? Was that when we were filling up the greenhouse with all the trays?
Yes.
Was that it?
Probably. Or, hauling dirt.
Soil. It's not dirt.
Anyway.
Dirt is what's out in your yard. Potting soil.
That's right.
Okay, so I think
Yeah, I think
there's
we
no
filled
telling.
in the gap there.
Yeah, hopefully we have filled in the gap, so you can pop back over to the Pines. If not, well, those memories are just between Christine and I
Yep.
suppose.
The Pines will hold their secrets forever.
What happens in the Pines stays in the Pines.
But yeah, we talked about this.
I think so.
It's just this is such a healing place, and it's a healing relationship, and
It is.
I'm so glad to have be brought into the family of Creekside, where I have a little break from my children, and I can be me Christine instead of Christine mom all the time. And I'm a homeschool mom too, and so there's some stress there.
No.
Mom, how do you? I don't know. Ask YouTube.
Okay, so we're going to jump back over to the Pines
Yeah.
so you can hear how Christine and I met.
Yes.
So enjoy the rest of the video.
Bye, guys. No, not goodbye.
No, not yet. Stay tuned. But we're going to go because it's dark.
It's dark. I'm hungry. Oh,
and
it's
we've
dinner time.
It's past dinner time now. Okay.
Bye.
All right.
What a train wreck.
The Jenny and Christine Show, Part 2.
Where were we?
Oh, yes. So, art.
Yes, how we met.
Yes. So, Christine is an amazing artist does beautiful watercolors. I mean, that's just one of your, is it mediums? Is that what they're called? Mediums. Okay. I know nothing about art. I struggle to draw stick figures, but my middle daughter, Megan, has quite the eye for art. Jerry's mom was a fantastic, also with watercolor, did a great job. So when Christine and Scott and her family came back to Gastonia, found out that you were doing some art lessons, and I wanted Megan to kind of see if she wanted to develop the art. So I contacted Christine about doing art lessons, and that was our first meeting, which I found highly embarrassing because here I am talking to Christine Hand. She was very well known in our community, and here, it's a long story, but basically I was on my cell phone, right? And
Connected to Bluetooth in the car.
Connected to Bluetooth, and I had the kids in the car watching a movie. Like, the oldest was at horse lessons, and so the younger two were having to be occupied. So I stepped out of the car with my phone, but it kept reconnecting back to the car, so I'm talking to her, and she can't hear me because she's in the car, and then she's talking to kids. This happened like 4 times in our phone conversation, and I felt like such a dimwit. So anyway, we were just talking about this the other day, and she was like,
I really don't remember it.
have no clue what you're talking about.
For me, it was a normal conversation. If you've spent any time with me, hopefully my awkwardness comes across as like endearing. And so I was like, oh great, another awkward person. I'm at home.
Yes. So and then that's how it happened, is that I would take Megan to have art lessons, and then we found out that she loved gardening. Well, hey, I have a garden center, and
we came and shopped that fall because we have bought our first ever home here in the States, and it was just, you know, it's a great little 3-bedroom, but it needed some spice.
It needed some love.
It needs some Creekside spice. T-shirt. Add a little spice.
So the rest is history. So she has slowly came on first. So that was that summer, and then y'all came and shopped out here the end of that season, and then the following spring we knew we needed some help, and our thought is that she would help check people out, and like kind of the cash register kind of thing. So I approached her and I was like, I don't want you to tell me, I just want you to think about it. She was like, yes. I'll be there. Yes,
I'll be outside.
I'll be outside. So she came on, and I think you did the cash register for the first day, and then we were like, oh no, she's not behind the cash register. She is out talking to people and selling plants. And then that literally is like, the rest is history.
Yeah. And it's been such a great experience. I am just deeply moved by the kind of people that we get to meet. And not only forming a friendship, moving is hard. And we were moving home from Taiwan. And so moving internationally, and I had 3, how many year olds? 4-year-olds? How old were they then? 3.
3. They weren't 4 yet.
And I was just kind of starting over. I had become really sick, and I kind of lost my identity. I have some chronic autoimmune stuff that crops up every once in a while. And so I'm not, you know, as active. I was a long distance runner and a rollerblader and horseback rider, and getting the opportunity to find myself again outdoors was great. But then this friendship came with it, and I can't look at you or I'm gonna cry.
So not only is Christine, like, you know, you get those people that they get you, right, warts and all is what I say, and I think we both get each other warts and all, but we're also good communicators.
Yeah,
I think
so too.
Yeah.
I think I know, like, I can rest assured that you have a way to tell me, hey, this is better, this is not so great, or please stop talking. or no, we're working right now, you cannot go paint something.
Or I'm losing my mind, and
come save me.
Come save me. So, yes. So I think we had that for each other, but it really has been a lot of fun. So Christine is the one who edits all of our videos. So if you see something funny or wacky, this is the one that does it. For me, I tend to be like, oh yeah, this is fun. So when we were getting ready to do this video, we asked Jerry if he wanted to come do it with us, and he was like,
what are we going to talk about?
What are we going to talk about? No. So the two of us together with Jerry. Now the three of us really do communicate and work very, very well together.
Yes.
Yes.
Love it.
But a lot of times Jerry's very like serious and like get the job done. But when
In
we
a
get
good
together,
way.
in a good way, not ugly.
Right.
But when we get together, we tend to be a lot more silly, and he's like, not
He
that
has a threshold.
he does. That's it. He has the threshold. You and I are just like, ah! So.
When we were about to do this video, I said it's at the end of the day, so I'm not nearly as hyper as I usually am. Although, give this coffee a second. It's starting to work.
Oh, it's starting to work. So, yeah. So it's a lot of fun. And so Christine has, I just wanted y'all to meet her so that when I talk about Christine or Christine did this and da-da-da-da-da, and just so that you know that, like, truly, and Jerry and I have talked about this many times, that Creekside would not be where it is without you.
I don't know. I'm just glad I don't know about that because y'all are,
No, it's true.
well,
So
that's
do you want to
sweet.
tell the Laura story?
Which one? Whoa. Oh, yes, that one.
Yes.
Okay. See that? What happened?
We telepathically speak to each other. Not
Okay.
really, but you know what I mean.
So, for me, it started in Taiwan.
Yes, that's what I'm talking
So
about.
we lived in China for 10 years. So if you hear my love of China, it's because of that. When I had autoimmune stuff get diagnosed, we actually moved to Taiwan because they have treated water and it's
a little cleaner.
citywide, and they don't have nearly as much as tuberculosis. And so, being autoimmune compromised, we just made that decision. So in Taiwan, with the three little ones, getting on and off of subways is a lot. And so when we were home during the day, after when the kids were, doing whatever, playing in their room, I discovered YouTube. I always tell people I went to YouTube University. You want to change a tire? Go to YouTube. You want to learn how to graft a tree? Go to YouTube. So that's when I found Laura. Hi, Laura. Oh my gosh. If you're seeing this.
I know Laura and Aaron are probably going to see this. So
Yes.
So when we meet in person,
I will be calm. I promise. You'll get this. Stop, I see you. Out of your periphery.
sorry.
So what I loved and what I latched onto was succulents for Laura, because although we had a small apartment, which a lot of the high rises in Taiwan are just apartments, but it had a nice balcony. And because of the weather in Taiwan, which we nicknamed Hawaii because it's the same latitude as Hawaii, succulents do really well. And they are so cheap there. And so I had this like immaculate succulent balcony that is what I would put the kids on the subway for. Kids, Mama needs some more succulents. We had a double stroller, one kid standing, two kids sitting, and the older one, my oldest was 6 at the time. Anyway, so we'd go to the open air market. I need to see if I can find a video of it and pop it up, because I mean, orchids grow in the wild there. It's beautiful. Anyway, I would come home with so many succulents, and so I drew my inspiration off of Laura. And then I thought, man, just one day it would be so nice to, I don't know, work with gardening and blah, blah, blah. 7 months later, I had a severely herniated disc that was causing my sciatic nerve to be severely damaged, and we needed to come home because I was supposed to have back surgery. So the reason we were going to come home to the States is because we have grandparents here who could help out with taking care of the kids, because recovering from back surgery is really, really difficult. So we just decided to move back to America. And then my doctors here decided, oh, we're going to do this a different way. And I was like, but I moved for this. Like, you made me leave my succulent haven. But it was all in God's plan. He knew what he was doing. So I kind of, I was still YouTube stalking Laura at that point. And then I met Jenny, and I was like, wow, here's my North Carolina Laura. So that's...
Which is so, it's just been such an interesting journey, because when Jerry and I were talking about going into YouTube and starting a channel, Christine was like, oh yeah, we got this.
And I'm familiar with video editing.
Right.
Because I
we
make
know nothing.
family videos about my kids.
Yeah.
And it's an art form that I really, really love.
Yep.
And I was like, yeah, we got this.
So
Let's do
it's just
it.
been such a, how that was, but that time in Taiwan it was a hard time.
It was really hard.
It was a very kind of a dark time for you.
Well, we thought we were starting over in Taiwan in a new place, but the back problems, and then there was a lot of neurological things that never got diagnosed, and having 2 children that we just added by way of adoption in the same year.
From 2 different countries.
2 different. And so financially recovering from international adoption, we just set up a whole house in Taiwan and took none of it with us. I did bring back I have a bird cage still. It was obviously...
And what do you want to put in that?
Succulents!
But it's just so neat, though, to see how you came in that dark time in your life and how God used that time to prepare you for a future event and give you the tools, some of the tools necessary then to use in a totally different manner.
If I could go back and tell myself something, well, first I'd be like, you're going to survive this, so it's okay. Just relax. You're gonna survive. But if I could tell myself, you're building this passion for both gardening and editing, and you're going to get to use that, not with just some random business, but in like one of the warmest, best relationships I've ever had. Stop.
It wasn't me, it was you. Yeah, so it's been really, really neat. And then, so we'll just fangirl all over the place, right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So then when Laura and Aaron reached out to us, to be on their Garden Answer Highlights channel, our family we were on our camping trip in Clemson. And, of course,
Do you think we
Christine...
have screenshots of that conversation?
We might.
I think I find them.
Christine, of course, is here at home, and I'm sending her, like, I can see her. Like, I imagine what she's doing. And that was just so funny. So it's just, and more so, like, excited for you because I know what an influence that she has had in your life. So anyway, so Laura, whenever we get to meet in person, finally, it'll be Jenny, Jerry, and Christine.
I will be on that plane. It might be in your suitcase. You can be like, why is our suitcase so heavy? It's me!
Also, if you ever need a random like song lyric or movie or TV show quote, she's your girl.
So, yeah, Algebra 2 was barely passing for me, but apparently what this holds on to is useless TV quotes.
But that make you laugh.
Yeah, they do.
So, we could sit here and do this all day. Really, we could.
Do you have a favorite moment in our 3-4 years?
Oh my gosh. There's so many. So I guess it was the season before, the year before we were at Clemson, maybe? The mum video.
There's some backstory here.
And the video, it's a good thing I know the editor because I have a feeling she might throw in, stay tuned for the end. How about that?
Okay, we'll throw it up at the end.
We'll throw it up at the end. So yeah, let me tell you the story. So again, every fall our family goes down to Clemson and we camp for a long weekend. It's kind of our fall getaway. And so this particular season, was it 19 or 18? I don't remember what it was. Fall of 18 or 19. And so we needed somebody to kind of stay at the nursery. We knew that it would be slow, like it was just a slow weekend. And so Christine, of course, agreed happily to come and work. So we're getting ready to go to the Clemson football game. I think it was that Saturday morning. And so I get this message from Christine. And
it's a movie.
It's a movie.
I just wanted to reassure Jenny that all was well. And no shenanigans were happening here. It was such a quiet day. I couldn't survive now alone. Oh.
So
I could get everybody in on it though.
Yeah, you could. So that was one of my favorite ones because she makes me laugh. Like a friend that can make you just like belly laugh like you're 3 years old. You know, like kids have the best, like most genuine laughs.
They do.
And you just make me laugh so much. which a lot of times I need a little lightening up in the moment. So, yeah, you just crack me up.
Well, I get the joy of working here, but none of the responsibility really falls on my shoulders, and so there might be a lot of plans and statistics and numbers swimming in your head. So I have nothing swimming in my head.
Stop it. You do too. So not true. So not true. Okay, so do you have a favorite moment?
I asked that, and I'm not sure. There's a whole bunch.
See, it's hard being put on the spot, isn't it?
It is. I'm sorry I did that.
Nope, she's got to
See, empty.
See, she's the fun friend. I'm the boring friend.
No, I like it when Jenny is up for some of my funny ideas. So, the aquapot. This isn't a favorite moment, but moment. Words are hard. It's not a favorite moment, but I was like, Jenny, you could fit inside that aquapot, and she's like, okay, and she climbed in the giant aquapot and popped it. If you see it at the end of our bumper, what you don't know is that the pot tipped over after that, and it was like, I can't catch you.
Like immediately, so in the bumper, and I'll go and I pop out. And of course, it was wet and rainy. It was a cold, wet, rainy day because that's the only time we can get deliveries if it's cold, wet. And
some unspoken rule of the universe.
So I pop up, and I guess it was my momentum. So I pop up, and then I go, woo! The whole aquapot and everything just collapses, and everybody's like I'm worried about the pot because here we have this brand new $600 pot that Jimmy's about to break,
and it's my idea.
But we were on the grass, so It just slow motion went down. But somehow that didn't make it on camera. I guess you had already captured the moment.
No, I was like, forget the phone, catch the friend.
Catch the pot.
I caught nothing though.
But it was all good, yeah. So.
Oh, you know what? Jenny took me to Blowing Rock a couple of years ago on my birthday, and we hiked a little bit.
We had a picnic.
Yes, and it was like a healthy picnic, y'all. It was really good. That was a really fun day because we were away from, just kids and job and all the little stressors that kind of weigh you down. So I think that was a very.
I bet we
sweet
still have
day.
some pictures from that trip.
Oh yes, it was a really pretty day.
It was a beautiful day.
It was.
So if you're not familiar, so where we are in North Carolina, is we're really blessed because the mountains are literally an hour and a half to the west, and then you can get to the beach actually quicker to South Carolina than you can to North Carolina in about 3 to 4 hours, depends on where you go.
Yeah.
So we have access to both great areas, and the mountains are one of my most favorite peaceful, restful places to go.
Me too.
And so knowing that Christine loves nature and she's not about doing something like it's not like an expensive thing. Like you don't care about money at all. You just want quality time.
Yeah, that's my love language.
Yeah. Quality time in a nature setting. So the park in Blowing Rock, Boone, North Carolina, part of the Blue Ridge Mountains, of course the Blue Ridge Parkway. So that's where we did. I packed a picnic lunch. I didn't tell her where we were going. I just said, you're going to come with me for the day. And
we went to a tea and a spice shop.
Oh yeah.
I do love tea.
Yes.
I like them all. I like all the water with stuff in it. Coffee, stuff, water. Tea, stuff, water.
Watercolors.
I see what you did there.
Okay, so we're going to sign off because literally I said we were going to sign off like 10 minutes ago and we're still, here we are.
Do you want me to bring up another topic for us real quick?
Oh, sure. You have something
No.
about that?
I was just being smart.
Yeah.
Like,
What are we going to do? What are we going to talk about? Huh?
I will say this. I can tell you now the questions that I'm going to get. In China, we were English teachers. That's what we did. We wanted to travel in English. Teaching English as a second language, pay the bills. Yes, I speak Chinese. 我会说中国话.
So, Laura,
yeah.
can we just joke about this for a minute?
Oh,
So we've talked about, obviously Spanish is a really common second language here.
Yes.
Right. I don't speak Spanish. You don't speak Spanish. But she speaks Chinese. So we joked about, instead of having a Spanish version of YouTube,
Oh, yes.
we could have a Chinese version. You think China's ready for us?
Maybe. I would need to gain some horticultural vocabulary. Because that wasn't part of my daily life.
Which is interesting because you can obviously, you're fluent in speaking Chinese.
Mm-hmm.
You can read Chinese.
I can text in Chinese, which is maybe 150 characters for just, hey, I'm lost, or order me a pizza, right? But the 10,000 characters that they use on a daily basis, nope. If I only had to read Chinese, I would be so lost. It is very complicated. So if you have learned how to read and write it, I am very impressed with you.
Yes.
I didn't try very hard because thankfully I could communicate mostly with speaking.
Yeah.
My teachers were not impressed. I'm left-handed, so there's no writing with your left hand in China. So I fisted that chalk like a 5-year-old and was doing this.
Is it because they write, where we write left to right, do they write right to left?
Well, it would be in traditional characters, it would be right to left. Up to down, right to
Oh.
left. But they don't. They write left to right now. But it's
Okay.
really the traditional pen. The Maobi is like a horsehair mark brush, because of the way that the stroke would fall when you are swishing to the left or to the right. The pressure down and then lifting up makes a difference. Also, they really appreciate uniformity in China. So there was a little bit of like no, you need to be like the rest of us. And I was like, but I'm a white woman. 我是作秀的，不能用优秀.
But I will tell you this. I know we keep I'm sorry, y'all.
I know, I said I was joking, but I really wasn't.
Well, you really weren't. But that last year we had how many couples came?
Yes, there was a few
that we
Chinese speaking,
like one spouse spoke some English and the other spouse spoke no English. And then here you have this Caucasian blonde come up to you and start speaking in fluent Chinese. Like it was an absolute joy to watch. Like their faces, like the shock and then the joy.
I can't believe I get to use this in North Carolina.
Gaston County.
It's coming. It's useful.
Yes. So okay.
Yeah. Those are the two questions I think I could answer that I know you're going to ask.
Nip it in the bud.
Yeah.
Nip it. More Andy Griffith.
Yes.
Nip it.
Nip it. Also, I'm married. I know that you're going to ask, but I am taken.
She is to a sweet man, Scott.
He is wonderful. My soulmate.
Sweet man, sweet man. Okay, so we're really going to leave now.
Yeah, the sun is down. I'm cold.
Yeah, our hands are freezing. As always, thank you so much. And if you have persevered to the end, God bless you.
10 golden stars.
10 golden stars, but stay tuned for the mum video. And
anything else?
anything else crazy that she might find.
There's a few Karen videos that might pop up there.
Karen.
I've been hiding her in my basement.
We're going to save that for the next video.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
You'll
so
get to meet
you'll
her.
get to meet Karen. She's a treat.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, friends. See you next time.